All right, I think I'm recording now. Laura Wernsman will talk this way. What do you mean, Laura? Oh, you're going to talk by text. Oh, Tom is in the dining room answering my question that I just asked you. Thanks, Tom. Okay, so I had to restart the recording because I screwed it up and I didn't have it done. So let me kind of backtrack a little. I was talking about like getting, like sometimes you get into like a funk or a mood, or you're just not like ready to do your job, or you get distracted. And I did a real quick 3-way call with Sandra Delbeck over the weekend, and just that quick conversation, sharing my story and connecting with another thriver, just snapped me back to where I needed to be. It got me back on track. It got my brain going in the right direction. I think part of it is it reminds you why you love what you do, because there's no way to really share your Thrive story, whether it's in a real quick 1-minute snippet on voice messenger or it's like on the telephone with another human. There's no way to share your story and not snap out of it and not be like, oh my gosh, I do love this. I do love what I get to do. It has changed my life. If I don't promote for the rest of my life, I always have the fact that it helped me. So I can't encourage you guys enough to connect with each other. And don't think that it has to be your upline. It doesn't have to be we are all part of a team. Like, I don't care if you pick up the phone and call Maria. I don't care who you want to talk to. Connect to somebody. Connect to, like maybe there's a Facebook friend that's a thriver that you just sort of like, you find yourself always liking their post, or, they're into things that you like. Contact them, hook up with them. It's just that combined energy, that synergy that you get when you're with someone else who's in the same mindset as you. Or maybe you're in the down mindset and they help bring you up that day, but it's that connection that you make. So yeah, locals are definitely a great way to do that. Obviously, you get in the room. I don't think I've ever left a local and not felt like brand new. And sometimes it stinks because it's like late at night and I need to go home and go to bed, but I'm just like wired after a local. Obviously, conference is an awesome thing to do, but that's, like I said, one time a year. Doesn't always fall on a date that everybody can do. So I just want you to think about, and it's on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 calendar. There's a little, it's the one of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It says connect with a leader. So when you look at that, I don't want you to think that means I have to call Lindsay, or that means I have to call Brittany. You're all leaders. I could call Olivia tonight and be like, tell me what's up. Just connect with me. Give me something good. Or what are you struggling with? Let's spend 5 minutes. That connection right there is what's going to keep you in your business. It's going to keep your brain in your business. So I can't encourage you enough. Like, obviously the reach outs are huge. You got to reach out. You got to find customers. But connecting with a leader, because that's just going to keep you rejuvenated. That's just going to give you the little like B12 shot, sorry, Thrive, but like the B12 shot that's going to perk you back up. And actually, just before we did this, I did a 3-way call with Sandra again. And it's just, again, that quick few minutes of sharing your story that totally gets you ready to be in the right mindset to talk to other thrivers. So to me, that's one of the biggest things is actually I want to say physically talk, but that's not really, but yeah, like actually, so I guess, yeah, physically talk. Like, it's one thing to text message and email, but like to actually get on the phone and hear another voice and talk to someone, or get on a Zoom like this and talk to someone. I think that's powerful. So I really would love for you guys to focus on that. And if you want to, if it's me, if you want to call me, if you want to set up a time to call me, I will do it. I mean, I'm telling you, it doesn't take more than like 5 minutes. But what I really wanted you guys to do tonight is to share with us, all of us, what you do when you're like feeling in a funk. What do you do to get out of it? Or if you're in a funk right now, you don't have to share anything with us, but hopefully somebody can tell you something that will help get you out of the funk. I mean, obviously I love my audiobooks. I will pull up a YouTube and I'll type in entrepreneurship, or I don't know, like different people that I like to, there's different podcasts that I like to listen to, and a lot of them have like YouTubes. That's kind of a thing you can do. And I mean, like, in addition to like the stuff you already do, like sometimes you need to take an extra step to get yourself a little something extra. So you guys throw your hands up when you have, Sandra's got her hand up. Hang on. Okay, you're unmuted.
Okay, I don't want to always be that kid in the class that goes, pick me, pick me, pick me. But, one of the things that, we've talked before about, and Brittany's done it before in the 12K chat and so forth, the accountability partners.
Mhm.
And, your accountability partner can be somebody who's across, your team. It can be somebody who is your sideline and so forth. And, back when Brittany was assigning accountability partners, I was assigned someone in Texas. And so she and I still have kind of remained each other's accountability partner. But I don't know if y'all have ever used the app Marco Polo. And yeah, there really is an app, Marco Polo, but you can send little video clips to the people you are connected to. And so on those days when just a text message isn't going to cut it, seeing somebody's face when you're feeling funk and somebody connecting with you via those fun little clips and so forth. I was just doing one while ago with my accountability partner, and I'm sitting here talking and leaving her one, and all of a sudden there's a stupid stink bug up on my book. I'm like, I gotta go, bye. But it's just, we get to have that more human connection with our accountability partners, or it can be one of your best friends, and that maybe they live far, far away and you don't get to talk to them very often or whatever, but you can connect with them via a little video. And I don't know about y'all, but it's that human connection, that seeing somebody's face,
Mm-hmm.
that always just kind of helps pull me right back out. So that's another thing that I've been doing is Marco Polo.
I like that. I've heard people talk about it, but I didn't know if that was one of those kid things, like if it was a newfangled thing.
No, I use it all the time.
Okay, that's exciting. I'm gonna get myself a new app when we hang up. But no, I agree. It's the face-to-face. It's the voice-to-voice. It's the other person's energy that can help pick you up,
mm-hmm.
or redirect you, or whatever it is that you need. All right. Other hands? Throw your hands in the air. Oh, Laura Doofman, you're on.
Hello. As you know, I was in a big funk this summer, I think for a while, the end of the summer. Probably because burn did not work for me. I mean, I did everything. It didn't really work for me, and it did not work for I had a couple of customers, and it didn't really work for them. The patches were falling off, and one was an avid swimmer, constantly falling off. I had the same problem, so I couldn't even help her, even though I did all this kinds of stuff. So, and they kind of got soured and stopped. One was a $200 a month auto ship. She stopped buying products and stuff. So it really sent me in a funk, because I didn't feel like I could promote that. And that's what everybody was focused on, was burn. And I couldn't I did not feel like I could do that. So I kept listening again and again to all different people, going to Maria's page and to Brittany's page, all of those different things, and listen to all the different stories. Like, I didn't feel like I couldn't reach out to people, but I kept listening to others and all of that. And I think Brittany had one that was like, get over yourself. Like, you just have to get over yourself, and keep hearing that. And, I think everybody says that in some light, and a lot of those motivational things are involved with Thrive. But one day that just clicked with me. I'm like, oh my gosh, get over myself. And, and just telling my story one more time again got me out of it. But for me, it was just really listening to other people and their stories again and again, and their motivation, other people, other leaders. That's what helped me.
Like the constant reminder of what you do. And I get that, burn did work for me, and it's the first DFT that I've ever been like, oh my gosh, it really works for me. And if you look, I obviously have an easier time talking about it. Black Label has never done anything, so I don't sell as much, but I know so many people, and I'm looking at faces on here right now of people who love Black Label. And that's what, when the conversation about mood comes up, I can switch very easily, because I no longer, it's no longer my story. It's like, oh my gosh, let me tell you about Sonia Whalen and her road rage. Let me tell you about Courtney Summers and her dog getting into her ranch dressing. But that's what I think is so special, is that when you do listen to all those stories, whether, like in this case, I know these people personally, but sometimes you won't know them personally, but you can find little snippets to connect with that you can share. And so I love that, because that gets you back on track. Like, instead of thinking about your disappointment in the one product, it brings you back to how happy you are with everything else. And you're one, I think, that went back to Black Label, right?
I did. You know what? And I just decided to try Burn again, honestly. I was like, okay, let me just give it a go again. I did go back to Black Label, and I love Black Label,
Mhm.
but I decided, you know what? Let me just try it again.
You're no
So
quitter.
we'll see.
Yeah.
So it's been, it hasn't been quite a month, has it? I get all mixed up. So I thought I'd give it another go round.
Yep. All right. So connecting to stories. Any other hands? Throw me some hands in the air. What do you guys do if you're in a funk? Oh, Sam. Sam, you're unmuted.
Can you hear me? I have my phone propped up.
Yep. Nope. I hear you.
So my favorite thing is the YouTube channel that has the 200K documentaries on it. There's only 7 of them on there, but oh my gosh, they're like, 7 to 10 minutes long, each one of them. And, it's motivation basically is all it is. But then you can see the leaders and, what their life looks like. And they all have different stories, but they're all similar about how hard it is at the beginning and how hard you have to work to get there, that it's not just going to happen for you. And some of them talk about how they missed out on stuff with their kids, and some of them talk about Mike Page talks about missing things with his wife at the beginning, but then they show what they have now. And seeing that it all pays off is what gets me fired up to keep going, because when you're kind of stuck, it's like, what am I doing? I'll just do something different. But you're right, when you talk about it and keep doing it, then it keeps the fire burning, it keeps you motivated to keep
Yes.
going. Those 200K documentaries, I think I've seen them all like 12 times.
Uh-huh. Well, and I agree, because those in particular, I think a lot of times when we get in a funk, or at least for me, maybe it's because I'm like, gosh, I'm working so hard and nothing's happening. Like, you start getting down on yourself, and then I'll watch one of those and I'll listen to like what they did for their first 90 days or 9 months. And I'm like, oh, I need to up my game. Like, it just totally puts it into perspective that you're like, oh, I thought I was working so hard and nothing was happening. And these people went like sun up till sundown, nonstop. And I mean, I eat dinner at a table and take a shower every day. So I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, so it's perspective, but I love too, because you see, like, not to be cheesy, but like the rags to riches. Like, you see these people that were totally normal. And then like you said, you see what they have now, and people are working regular jobs, missing out on stuff with their family, and they won't end up that
video that was on Maria's, I shared it. It was like somebody went live with her when she's in Florida this last week. I watched the whole thing, and she said something about have you guys ever been on a lifestyle getaway, which I know not everyone has, but she kind of makes a comment that made me laugh. Like, some of the people that you meet there are 200Ks, and when you see them and they're like relaxed, you're kind of like, that person made it to 200K. Why can't I? Like, it's kind of like an eye opener. If they can do it, I can definitely do it. Like, I mean, yeah. So if they can do it, we can do it. Everybody in this group.
Oh, totally. No, I agree. That's a good one. So I like the documentaries. If you guys haven't seen them yet, I encourage you to do them, watch them for sure. And Sam, like you, I've watched a couple of them multiple times just because they are motivating.
Yeah.
Other hands, other ideas? What do you guys do if you get in a funk? Court's got her hand up. Court, you're unmuted.
Hey, y'all. So kind of like feeding off of Sam there for a minute, when she's talking about those videos and watching, how they started and where they are now. I do that on the daily, is remember where you started or why you started.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what made you decide, okay, I'm going to be a promoter? And it was obviously for a reason. You wanted to better yourself. You wanted to better your situation, whether it was financially, whether it was, personal, or, whatever. When I sit around and I think about, how my life used to be before I got into this, that is a funk. So I think we get comfortable with where we are now. And I've heard people say it before, like, this is our new, lifestyle. So we get comfortable with how things are going, and you can find yourself sit around kind of complaining, but when I have those days where I feel like quitting, or, like I'm not getting any feedback from anybody. Like I talked to Sam last week and I was like, you should see my inbox. Like it's insane. And I've only had maybe 2 or 3 people get back with me. So I know it's disappointing when you are so fired up and you really want, somebody to message you back and really, get them started to change your life. And then they read your message, but then they don't ever say anything. I know that it's disappointing, but you just got to keep going. You got to just keep your head down, change your mindset, and just do it anyway. I don't know if you guys got our live last week, me and Sam, but we talked about, fear and things that hold you back. And then, what point in your life are you going to have to get to before you decide that you don't want to be where you are anymore? And then you fuel yourself with that. And I don't know. I always just keep that fresh in my mind of where I was before I came here. And then it's always good to plan a vacation, because there's nothing that's going to get you more motivated to go anywhere or do anything than plan a trip, because then you're like, I need some extra income this week because I'm going to Nashville. So like, plan a trip, do something fun, get yourself out of that funk, and just remember where you came from and why you started this to begin with.
I love that. I always say if you want to clean your house, plan a party.
Right?
Nothing gets your house quite as clean as a party. See,
Right.
got that hand up?
Hey, Sam was talking about the YouTube channel and so forth, and then with what Courtney was just talking about, like you see when people have looked at your message and you're like, what the crap? They didn't answer. Okay, so there is in Maria's YouTube channel, she has an interview that she did with Haley Monk, M-O-N-K, and I think Haley is spelled H-A-L-E-Y. I have watched it 3 times. I cannot tell you how many times I have paused it and jotted down things that they have both said. And Maria has some really good advice about when people don't answer you, what that really means, and what have you. So I'm not going to spill it. Y'all got to go watch it. But I mean, I still have it, and I'm watching it now for the 4th time.
Oh, I'm watching it. We hang up.
There's so many things that I picked up. Now, Tammy, you may watch it and go, what's so special about it? But it spoke to me at a time when there was something that I definitely needed from that video. And, Courtney says, Haley Monk was on my flight to Cabo. Girlfriend, go watch that video. She's from a smaller town than I think Lindsay is, or right at like the size of what Lindsay's from. And so, yeah, it's a great, great interview between the 2 of them.
I like that. I always feel like I don't know. I always feel like I spend some time on YouTube and then I'm like, oh, I better get some work done. But it's because I'm on Team Thrive Nation's YouTube channel, or I'm on Lavelle's channel and I'm watching that stuff. And maybe some of Maria's interviews that she was on that, I don't know if it was just October, but she was on that thing where she was interviewing leaders like every day. Those are some super good videos. I mean, super good. And like some of them, like Sandra said, some of them you might be watching it and it might be one thing you get out of it, but then you rewatch it and you get something totally different because that's what you needed that week. But those are really good. So yeah, I don't think I saw the Haley one though, so I'm going to totally go watch that.
Yeah, it was good.
Hands? Anyone? You guys are so quiet. All right, so I have a little challenge for all of you because there's 9 of us here, and there's how many hundreds of promoters on our team. So what I want you to do is write down 5 names of people. They can be on your team. They can be on, let me put it this way, they can be on Maria's team. That's pretty big. I want you to write down 5 people, and I want you to connect with 5 people this week. Whether you call, like if it's one of your own promoters, then call them. If it's one of your customers, call them. If it's somebody like Samantha, I can't think of who it was that you reached out to, but you sent her a Facebook message. Super cute, black hair. She's got a millionaire documentary. What? Say it again.
Kendra Morse.
Kendra, right. She sent Kendra a message, and Kendra responded to her. So if there's somebody, yeah. So like if there's someone like, if you watch this Haley Monk thing and you're like, she's amazing, send her a message. Connect with her. Like, obviously, ideally, I want you to get on the phone with somebody. I want you to like talk to somebody. And you guys, if it's someone in your downline, it's just literally like, hey, what's up? It doesn't have to be like, have you done your calendar today? You know, like not that kind of thing. Just what's going on? Like what's happening in your life? What's going on with your business? Just because you never know, like you might be the energy that they need, or they might be the energy that you need at that time. But I challenge you guys to connect with 5 people. And while you're connecting with them, if they are on our team, I want you to encourage them to start getting onto the team Zooms, because this right here is a perfect example of how I can be tired at the end of the day, but I can get on here and listen to you girls talk. And then now I'm going to have to take a rest gel later, like bring my brain back down. And that's a good, that's good for, you know, I like that. But there's a lot of people who are in a funk and their faces aren't here. And so if their faces don't start getting here, they're going to stay in that funk. Invite people to our local. We have a local this Thursday. That's, again, another awesome way to get people out of the funk. I used to panic if it was a local and I would look around, it was just promoters. And now I'm like, I don't care who's there. Anybody that's there is who's supposed to be there. So if it's a room full of promoters, let's get them excited about what they do again. If it's a room full of people who have no idea what Thrive is, let's get them excited about what Thrive is. So that's my challenge to you guys. But is there anybody else has it? Laura Wernsman, you didn't type me anything. You just Facebook message me, don't you? You're like, hey, Tammy. Sonia, you're not saying anything. Miss Olivia. Miss Olivia, by the way, how did you get on a Zoom and there's not like 4 kids running around right now?
Well, Alice was sitting beside me, and they lived with 6 kids downstairs, and my dad was on the so.
Well, you live in the country, and I can't hear a word that you just said. So, I mean, I can hear you're talking, but I can't understand what you're saying.
Is it too fast?
Oh, that's perfect. I can hear you perfect now.
Alice was sitting beside me eating pretzels,
Oh.
and Caleb bribed the other 2 to go downstairs and eat pretzels.
Aw, you got like a few minutes all to yourself. Then you should enjoy it. I'm impressed.
Yeah. I try.
All right. If you guys don't have anything else that you want to add, oh, what, Olivia? I'm sorry.
With this being Caleb's day off, I don't get on the Zooms. I try to just watch the recording. So.
Well, now you're on the recording. You are officially on the recording. Does anybody have anything else they want to? Any questions that have popped up this week? Any worries that have? I mean, it doesn't have to be what we've been talking about. Anything that's going on in life that, with your business, that you need help or you're not sure. Anything you want to brag about? We had an amazing amount of new customer orders last week. I thought on Sunday it would be fun to do like a little collage of the people that got new orders. And it was super simple because I forget there was like maybe 5 or 6. And then this week when I was going through the report and writing everything down, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do a collage with like, I think it was 16, 17 people, but I did it. I did separate ones. Miss Wernsman has added in that 54321 has changed her business. And you know what? I will also agree with that. And again, like I think it was last week, I talked about how I felt like I knew the calendar challenge so inside and out that I didn't have to write it all down anymore. But getting back down to writing it all down and keeping track of it, that's also been totally motivating for business, because I think today alone I set up 4 customer accounts because I'm just pushing myself to send out, the messages about, hey, we've got $25 for new people. You don't have to use it, blah, 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 like the copy paste thing that Susan did. And it's just a customer account. It doesn't mean they're going to order, but they're on my list now because they gave me their email. So that exciting feeling when you get a new email. Sandra is yeah.
Okay, last thing, and this comes from yesterday. So, in doing those 54321 and those reach outs and that kind of thing, I mean, and I'll tell y'all this, I reached out to a girl 2 weeks ago that my sister was like, hey, did you think about reaching out to so-and-so? Well, yeah, I already had. Messaged her. She's like, no, not interested. And I was like, okay, no worries, blah, 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 blah. But in the last 2 weeks, I've noticed she started liking all my posts on Facebook and my Thrive posts. I get a message Saturday afternoon. hey, I've been seeing some more of this Thrive stuff. Well, yeah, she has. It's been coming from my stuff. And she goes, and I think I want some more information. That's who we got on the three-way call with. Tammy hangs up. I tell her, okay, well, the difference is you can order between a customer and a promoter. She bought a promoter pack. 2 weeks ago, she said, talk to the hand. I don't know. I don't know.
You are a prime example of talk to the hand.
Oh, yeah.
I talk to your hand till you put your hand down. So see, no giving up. No giving up allowed.
No giving up.
All right. Okay. Anything else? Oh, Courtney's got her hand up. Go for it, Court.
Yeah. So this is a little brag. And I also want to add that, are you guys having fun with this Christmas cash stuff or what? Because I feel like that has been super motivating as well, because we're like all in our little groups and we're cheering each other on. And every time, there's a notification in our group that somebody got an order, I just think it's super fun. So that is something that's kind of been uplifting. But this weekend I was in Nashville, and Mike and I were the only ones thriving, and they were all waking up on Saturday morning hungover. And the ride home Sunday was not going to be great for one of the guys that was with us. And I just happened to take an extra couple packs of capsules with us. And all I had was Black Label, which I don't usually give out, and a sample. But I just said, hey, I told Mike, since he was a guy, I said, why don't you go give him this Thrive packet and tell him to take one capsule and to cut that Black Label patch in half, and see if that helps him get through his ride home. So I didn't really say anything to him. After that, just kind of let it do its thing. And of course, it's really not even the full sample. And first day, I got a message from him last night that said that, is it weird that I feel different already? Or is this all in my head? And I said, no, it's not weird at all, actually. And I said, what do you mean by feeling different? And he just said, I don't know. I just felt so much more calm yesterday. And then I got a message tonight right before I hopped on this Zoom, because he took the other capsule and the other half of the Black Label today. And he said that they had a friend come over last night, and she was the one who noticed that he seems like he had a better attitude and wasn't grumpy and was just more laid back and happy. And he was like, I don't know what you've given me, but I think I'm liking it. So, who knew that a hangover could lead to a potential Thrive customer?
I mean, that's like the lowest of the low feeling, and you're perking right up. I mean, you would be my friend if you gave it to me and I had to drive that.
Right.
That's awesome, though. So, but see, that's because you had extra. So you were prepared, even though you weren't, totally prepared. So, yeah, when you travel, take extra. Try to keep a sample pack or two in your purse or your car. You just never know when you're going to run across somebody who's like, what is that stuff? Yeah, and I had a girlfriend message me today, and she's been my friend through this whole thing. She knows everything. And she sent me a message today. She's like, I'm thinking of doing that Thrive stuff you're doing. I mean, this is like a really good girlfriend. Like, I was like, what? Okay. So you never know.
Yeah, it seems like those people always take the longest, because it's crazy. The girl that I had order last week, she asked me literally 2 years ago, 2016, what is this stuff and how much does it cost? Always kind of kept in contact with her, but never really pursued much with her. And then out of nowhere, just one day she said, I have the extra money and let's do this.
Yeah.
So stay consistent.
That's why I love this. It's like success stories all in one.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to brag about themselves or something that their team did or somebody that they know? But I feel like we can never brag enough. Sam's waving. Oh, Sam, I'm going to brag about you really quick. You did a live in your team page today to address the balance, like using the balance post that's getting so much attention as like an out-of-the-box way to connect with people. And I love that you did that, because I think so many people are seeing these pictures and they're just like, what's happening? What's going on? And I love that you did it in a live because that gets people to, you explained it really well. So, okay, you're unmuted. Brad,
Well, yeah, I feel like that's what I was gonna say. I think that if you're just seeing it, you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. Because I'm not getting in, I don't want other people who are maybe creeping on it to see what it is. I want them to say that they're interested, so I know. I don't want them to know just by reading it and then not say anything. I'm just using them as just a bait, basically,
right. Bait, I love
to
it.
get them to talk to me. And I probably have had 5 or 6 people order Just Balance, but I have some amazing conversations with them. They know that I'm their Thrive Girl, and they'll be getting a sample, and they'll be ordering. I already know.
Mhm.
And a couple of them were people who created a separate customer account under themselves as their husbands or wives or whatever, just to get the balance because they're already thriving, you know. But just 2 of those. But I do have 4 people that are going to order a full month of Thrive, get the $25 off, and I'm going to send them balance. So just conversations that that were never people that even saw my post before. So it's new and people I don't even know.
Right.
But I was just going to kind of piggyback on what Courtney said. First of all, Courtney, I can see that she's losing weight. Her face looks just so like, she looks so good and just like refreshed, and
Like she's
just,
blushing.
she looks so she's glowing. She has a Thriver glow. I'm girl crushing on Courtney tonight. But she's right. The Christmas challenge, the Christmas cash thing, it kind of it's like a friendly competition, because it's like, oh my gosh, TJ got an order already. Now I have to get I can't not get an order and let my team down. Like, I got to get an order too. So it's like, it kind of helps push you to be consistent, because you know you're on a team and you don't want to let your team down. So it's not even doing it for yourself, it's doing it for your team. And it is fun to have a little group chat, and you know, when someone gets an order, you're genuinely excited for them because they're on your team, and you know, it counts for your numbers. So yeah, we had 8 orders on our team this
That's exciting.
yeah, so
Really.
so good.
Fantastic. All right. Anybody else? Laura Duthman, come back to your chair real quick. All right. So everyone yells at me because I post these pictures and I don't tell you. So I'm going to take a picture of my screen. So I want everyone to smile. Oh, where'd Sandra go? There she is. All right. So everybody look at your screen and smile. Ready? Go. All right. Okay, you guys, you're awesome. If you need anything, let me know. Contact those 5 people. Remember, that's your challenge. I'm going to ask you about it next week. And as you're doing that, if something comes up and something awesome comes out of it, let us know. Like, you know, tell us. Let us know what's going on. So as long as nobody has anything else, we're good. All right, go get them, guys. Bye.
This is Thrivers, right? Is it Thrivers? Team
Thrive-
members?
Oh, yeah, customers or promoters, and
okay.
like I said, it's like anybody even under Maria. So you got a huge group of people to pick from.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.